another episode, long overdue episode of Jim's Farming. Should have right here. Anyway, so yeah, currently got our flat lift subsoiler on the back of our little 6230. Just actually put another leg on, so gone from 3 to 4 legs, so should do a bit of a better job. And we've just been out seeing if it'll actually pull it, which it does, although it was struggling a little bit. I pulled into a tram line and it was where I've been travelling, where it's pretty compacted, and it was having a bit of a job, although I think part of the trouble is probably not enough weight on the tractor. So got, I think, like 500 kilos on the front, but yeah, probably not quite enough. Anyway, so here we are on a Rake stubble. So we got this cut last Wednesday, so sprayed off a little while ago. Over the hedge, I've just driven up here to have a look, is our other patch. We got that sprayed off a little while afterwards. I put a picture up when I took my drone, but a bit of an issue in there with volunteer oats after we planted the crop, and the joys of having a very small combine means you get lots of swaths. So every 10 feet I had a swath, and there was a lot of very small oats that went over the back of the combine last year. Oats are very competitive, and I think everything wants to kill or super rake when you plant it. But so it really stunted it every 10 foot, and it was really evident as the crop was growing. And so every 10 feet there was a little green stripe. So we left that a little bit longer before we sprayed it off, and hopefully if the weather's right, if we can get a contractor to come and do it, we should hopefully be good to go on it towards the weekend, today being Tuesday. Yeah, so yeah, we had quite a good crop off here. Our neighbour comes and cuts our rake. They got a new combine this year. It was a T560 John Deere. I think it was like 24 foot or something like that. But yeah, it came off quite well. I think, judging by the volume that's in the shed, we maybe did like 1.8 tons per acre, which I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think we've only actually been growing it ourselves for 3 years, but that's sort of probably, if it is around about there, that would be the highest yield we've ever had. So yeah, reasonably happy with that. Well, very happy, because I've heard of some pretty disastrous crops about, but yeah, it should be quite good, because the price of rake's been very good this year. So yeah, just came out and had a go with that. And I've also latest update to my GPS system. So very rough and ready, but it's no longer just a circuit board. That's the control circuit for, and that's a voltage converter for the motor. That's the circuit board that controls the steering. Got a wheel angle sensor down there that still needs a bit of polishing. That's not great, and actually almost ripped the cable off with a long bit of rake stubble. So yeah, just a few bits to iron out of there. I've now got my receiver in, GPS receiver, in a bit of a nicer box with a proper little connector for the antenna on the side. And yeah, so just been having a bit of a tinker with some of the settings. So yeah, this is very rough and ready. There's a couple of holes there from a previous rendition, but essentially I just engage it by lifting the wheel into line, and I've got this button and a little cable there. Just press that, and that little arrow lights up to say the steering's engaged, although it won't actually engage, it's not doing anything until we start moving. So what I'll do, I think I'll just turn around, head back down the field. So yeah, this software is pretty cool. That little number there is kind of inclinometer. It tells the software what pitch the tractor's on. That little unit exists down in that aluminium box there. So if I get lined up, I'll engage the steering wheel to the remote control buggy wheel that I've got nicely cable tied on there. That does need a bit of work still. And press the button, and off we go. It's just slowly steering me onto the track. I wasn't quite lined up. Get up a gear. So there we go. And yeah, so RTK fix works. Just need to perhaps tinker with some of the settings here a bit. I seem to be struggling to find. Oh, there we go. Got it on the wrong steering mode. There we are. So yeah, we're down to 2. Never really, since I've been tinkering with it and had this on, it's always 3. The most it seems to go out of line is like 3 centimeters. So eat that little number there. 1, 2, 3, or 5, or 6. Oh dear, that's not much good. So yeah, most of the time it's pretty spot on, I've got to say. So yeah, there's a place here where I've actually been down with the cultivator, and to be fair, it's pretty straight. I think what I'll do, I'll just back up, disengage that. I'll back up, and just to illustrate what it's doing, I don't really want to go and rip up too much ground. We're just waiting here for the volunteer rake to germinate before we do anything, and then I'll get that sprayed off, and then we'll come in and cultivate it. So what I can do, I can engage the steering again. I can press that button, and that'll jump me across the track. So this motor, the gearing on the motor is probably a little bit slow for some of these big turns. This software is capable of doing U-turns, and it will work, but it's, like I say, it's just, this motor is just a little bit slow. So yeah, you can see here I'm pretty much perfectly steering down there. We're on a bit of a slope, and I think it's still doing a pretty good job. I think accuracy of a couple of centimeters, 3 centimeters, is pretty good for a system that's cost a grand total of probably well under £1,000. Yeah, I was trying to tot up the other day. I think the motor was about 30 or 40 quid. This was under 100 quid. That was probably the most expensive thing so far. Outright spend about 200. Then that unit, putting that together, probably 150 quid by the time I got all the bits. And well, it's surprising how it adds up, buying cables and braiding and stuff like that, to go and just tidy it up. But yeah, so there we go. There's a little demonstration of Agopengps like I talked about in my other video. Yeah, it's yeah, you can see there. Hopefully we're been down, just driven back over our markings. Yeah, it's pretty bloody spot on. Very good for what it's cost. But yeah, we're just waiting on delivery of a tractor, and then I'm gonna have to mount all this onto our what will be our main drilling tractor, which is the key thing. Really what I've been aiming at with all of this. I've been kind of dicing with the idea of sticking this on the combine just to make my life a bit easier with that, but I don't know, it's pretty dusty in there. This is a sealed cab, but as you'll see, start on that possibly towards the weekend if the weather plays ball. But yeah, well, I think we'll just leave it on the tractors for now. Got to do something to keep me awake and entertained as I'm driving the combine. But yeah, so it's expect to see a bit more of this. It is yeah, very happy with it, to be fair. Anyway, right, just a short video, and yeah, catch you again.